They said it's climate change. Of course, it's a lie. You came from very barren, arid Sahel. No rain in Sahel for centuries. It didn't start today. You were able to keep your cattle, you drink the blood and you drink the milk. That's how you survive. Now, what are you doing in Ondo Forest? Our people cannot see because they are blind. People cannot see because they are blind. But we are here to open your eyes. We are here to open your eyes. The time now is exactly 4 minutes past 9. Sorry, we are 4 minutes. What am I? No, I think that is UK time. It is 4 minutes past 10. I'm looking at the UK clock. It's 4 minutes past 10 a.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. We are under the bondage of the zoo because a few idiots want to be president of Nigeria. Because after that, then what happens? All of them killing themselves over Jonathan presidency. From the so-called Niger Delta or Yoruba that was dying because of Obasanjo presidency. Where are they today? They are still the ones crying that things are not okay. So you think as an Igbo man, if you're there for 8 years, somehow, miraculously, you will change anything? You don't see tried and they killed him. Use your brain. It was meant to be Alex Ekwueme after Shagari. Buhari overthrew the government, 1983. Some of you don't know history. Rather than allow an Igbo man to become the president, they did a coup. Some of you need to reason very well. Obioso, you claim you went to school, you should be able to use your brain. How can you believe it? People who are foolish, they cannot, because of the Nchonche wild chicken change they give you in Abuja. You don't have a house in Abuja because of that. You are going to suffer and die. Check there are mad people. You've not seen anything yet. You have not seen anything yet. At this point in time, let us take some questions. We'll continue. If you want to send us a question, please, I'm not going to take a direct call. I will call my secretary, and then she will be able to tell us precisely who is who are the ones asking the questions, and what they're going. Go to Twitter and ask your question on Twitter. When you ask your question on Twitter, then I will be able to answer it live on air here. You can ask anything you like and I will answer it. Can you hear me? Uchenna, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, go ahead. We are listening. Do we have any questions from people that require my response?
Yes. First, good morning, and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for this Q&A session. And I'm going to start with question 1. Let's see. Okay. So question 1 is, good morning, sir. It appears that Oduwa is getting pretty hot at the moment and onward.
Your English is too American for us. So, you know, we are from the village. This English is too American. Please break it down. Raise your voice for me, please. Raise your voice and break it down for us, if you can, please. Because this grammar is too Americanized. This Akata is somehow for us that grew up in the village. Please go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. It appears that Oduduwa is getting pretty hot at the moment and onward. Is IPOB ready to offer moral and logical support to them?
Yes, and we have been doing so. We have been doing so, and we shall continue to do so. We want them, I want to do what to come out of their shell. To recognize that Nigeria is a mess. A recognition that Nigeria is a hopeless case. And come to fight for it. Not all the time the Fulani will give them something, as they promised Chief Obafemi Awolowo will make you the president after this and all that, and they buy into it. It will never ever happen. What we are saying to them is that they must come out and support what we are doing, and that thing is a referendum. Everybody must demand a referendum that gives you a say in how you are governed, in how your children are going to be governed in time to come. And the only thing that can bring that about is the revolution. We start with the revolution, they will now, of course, they'll be forced to capitulate. And then after that, we have a referendum. There must be a referendum. So we are willing and prepared to offer them every support that they may want. Of course, anytime, any day. Next question, please.
Nigeria Army resigning. Some of them will send to ESN acknowledging that they've resigned, but this is a lie planned by Zoo government. My question is, how are we supposed to receive the resigning soldiers in ESN, because this is a plan of Nigerian government trying to send spies to ESN camps?
We have a very special recruitment and induction procedure that will root out every fake soldier or every unpatriotic soldier trying to join ESN. Is not going to happen. We have filters in place, and when the time comes, we will root out the bad eggs within them. But I must encourage them to continue resigning, because what you have is not an army of the nation. What you have is an army of conquest by the Janjaweed rulers of the zoo. And we must do everything we can to demolish and dismantle it. And please, can you give me the names of the people who are sending on all these messages, please? We need to know their names. We want to know their names, please. It's very, very important that we know who is asking all these questions, please, if you may.
Okay, let me get that.
Do we have any other question?
We do. So this is from Bucci Law. How can we inform ESN when we notice unusual moves in our beloved Biafra lands?
We are everywhere. IPOB family is in every village, in every nook and cranny of Biafra land. You don't even need to bring it to our attention. We will know already, even before you. Once we come across them, then we do the needful. You may not hear about it, but they will not disturb you anymore. We are working tirelessly night and day to make sure that our farmlands and our forests are rid of all these terrorists from the Sahel. And we are not going to rest until we have accomplished the complete eradication of terrorists from our villages and our forests as well. So you shouldn't worry at all. We know about them.
Okay. Kenneth Chinadu said, Oyendu, good morning. My humble question is this. Why do we have to congratulate Joe Biden when we know how shady his election is and how it portrays us as people seeking for favor from people, Democrats, who I think he wanted to say who has hatred for us even before we knew what they are?
He has been sworn in as the US president. We have no choice than to acknowledge and recognize him. As I said before, as it is the case with the zoo, if you bring out a goat and say, this goat is our president, the world will have no alternative than to accord that very creature every privilege, every right, every respect due. Americans have sworn in Joe Biden, and he is the president of the USA, and that is the end of it. We all need to be politically mature in a way. Are we now saying that we have the right to intervene in US electoral process? No, we don't. The same way that when Biafra comes, we will not expect anyone to dabble in or interfere in ours. Of course, we are going to conduct very free and fair elections, and we shall ensure that that is the norm. But when people produce their president, you don't have any right. I am not an American citizen, so I have no right to challenge the decision of the American people. It is entirely left up to them to decide. So for now, Joe Biden is the president of America, and we have no other choice than to go with it. That's how life is, unfortunately.
Okay, so the next question is from Marcus Graham. When we get Biafra for our American and Canadian Eastern brothers and sisters, how do we get them to fully invest when many aren't aware?
Invest in what exactly?
I'm not, he didn't really state it. Let me go to the next question.
Yeah, we need to know what the investment is all about. Because Biafra land is going to be run, we must acknowledge the importance of inward investment. I am an economist, so I understand all these things anyway. There's something called inward investment. And we'll try and do what sensible people do. Instead of having pig milk in Holland, bringing in pig milk to us, we allow them to have a farm, a dairy farm in Biafra land, where the cows will be milked, and that very milk pasteurized and processed and canned and distributed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we know how to make Biafra land viable economically. They shouldn't worry about that. We know what we're doing.
Okay. This question is from Victor. How can we undo Ohaneze to help us get Biafra as regards to one of the points to be earned according to UN condition?
Ohaneze Ndibo, you mean? It's not just Ohaneze, there's also another useless group called Pandef. The thing is that Ohaneze can do whatever they like. How many people can they command? Have they issued any command before and they want to bet them? What have they done? See, people must ask themselves, what has Ohaneze done from inception till now? What have they done? I can tell you what Igbo State Union did. National High School, Aba, and all the rest of the scholarships that they give to people. Name one thing that Ohaneze has ever done before. One. And I'll support them. The answer, sadly, is nothing. They have done absolutely nothing, and they do not deserve the support of our people because they are useless. They are absolutely useless. All they do is like a Janjaweed club for Sabo. Janjaweed Sabo Club. That's what they do. All they do is they sit down there and say, give us a name or somebody who can be minister. And that's all they do. Tell me one Ohaneze achievement. Nyangwo, they came and said, oh, I'll eradicate every police checkpoint and we'll do this and I'll do that. How did he do it? Didn't Nyangwo do it? Instead, the checkpoints explode exponentially. They never accomplished any. Not one thing he said he was going to do did he accomplish in 4 years. That's how they want to be president of Nigeria. Ndara. Please go ahead. The next question, please.
Biafra Technology said, sir, why can't we just declare Biafra independent and start living on our own? If they bring war to us for that, then we fight it. And again, take the war to them, because how I'm seeing things in Nigeria is not ready to let Biafra go. We better take it now by fight.
Is the reason why you must do things in a particular way is because we are Republicans by nature. There are some things you will do and people will say, who did you consult? Who did you tell? There is a saying where we come from, which means no matter how small this animal is, it deserves a place at where decisions are being taken. No matter how small or how big we are, everybody, regardless of how idiotic the person's opinion may be, they are entitled to be heard. We are the original Democrats before any other race in the world. We are original Republicans, so you must be seen to carry the majority along, and that's exactly what we are doing. When the time comes, Biafra will quite rightly be declared, and our territories will be defended. That's what we are going to do at the right time. The consultation is ongoing. Everything humanly possible is being done to ensure that we do what is right. But right now, at this very precise minute, the time hasn't come, and we just can't declare Biafra now. The time is not right.
King Don, my question is, why the so-called Sabos fail to understand that IPOB is fighting to free our people from the slavery we are into? Thank you.
Because we are all black people, and black people do not reason very well. I've said that before. And I have also alluded to the example of white people using black people to conquer black people. That is the way we are. So there will always be saboteurs, but this year is the year of the great hunt, and we are hunting for them, and some of them are beginning to feel the heat as well. I'll give you another example. Look at today, for instance. We woke up this morning to a very shambolic, useless video being circulated of you know, very horribly dressed human beings claiming they are Biafran army. Just somewhere saying they're Biafran army. That's how black people reason, because there's something wrong with us. But thankfully for IPOB, we are now able to get a majority of our people together, reasoning, should I say, properly, and pursuing one very unique outcome, which is our freedom. So there will always be saboteurs, but we are all going to defeat all of them, one after the other.
Okay. Oyikachi said, why are some influential Igbo leaders and business people not supporting IPOB? Some are even campaigning for Igbo presidency. And what is IPOB doing about that?
People are free to do whatever they like, because they are not coming out openly to support Biafra because of their business interest, because they are selfish, because they do not understand what patriotism is, because also they were groomed by Fulani Janjaweed to do exactly what they are doing. That's the reason why they are the way they are. Our people, let me tell you something, everybody who was a multimillionaire after the war was a saboteur during the war. That's what they do. Everybody who was a multi-millionaire immediately after the war was a saboteur during the war. It has benefited most of our people over the years, and they are continuing in that very vein, which is very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. That is why we need a revolution. And in a revolution, you cleanse all these idiots. Of course, I'm not going to say what will happen to them. There will be no more. That I can assure you.
Okay. Indu BC said, without reviewing plans, is there ongoing lobbying on Joe Biden administration on behalf of freedom? If so, is it already in motion? And second, the governor set up another security outfit. How do we intend to counter them?
First of all, the governors cannot and have never set up any counter security outfit in the East. That's number one. They cannot do it. They don't have the manpower. Because my message to our people is very simple. Do not join them. As simple as that. Again, I'm not at liberty to divulge precisely what we are doing in respect of our ongoing consultation on Capitol Hill. That will continue. Some of you may know that we have retained the services of a very top consultancy firm on Capitol Hill, and that work is ongoing. I am not at liberty to divulge more than that. But what I can say to you is that after very many years of trying, the U.S. State Department have now come to realize that the Fulani intention in Nigeria is to overwhelm and conquer everybody. It is not about pastoralists and farmers having a clash. No, the Fulanis came to conquer, to pillage, to occupy, and to decimate, and we are not going to allow them to do that. And I'm very, very glad that the U.S. State Department, after many years of lobbying and at a very huge expense, have come now round to adopt our position on that very matter. And stay where you are and compass. If you have any questions to ask, please make sure that you send it via Twitter. Send it via Twitter. I think it is on my wall, if I'm not mistaken, or you go to my Twitter page or handle or whatever they call it, and you give us your question, and I will ask you, Chen, later on to try and read out some of those questions, the very pertinent ones. But today we are live, we are direct, we're letting the whole world understand this, and Nigerians in particular. The Nigerian youth that did us so, you made us proud when you came out for End SARS protests, but you're going to come out one more time. The Nigerian youths, prepare yourselves. You are going to come out again to try and defend your right to exist in the land of your ancestors. People talk about tanker explosion. I want to ask you this question. You know, a lot of people don't understand what the Janjaweed, the Fulanis have in store for us. Every time we hear about a tanker explosion somewhere, why don't these tankers explode in the north? Why are they not exploding in the north? I ask, why is it that all this gas explosion, these cylinders exploding and killing people doesn't happen in the north? That is to tell you that they know what they're doing. Is part of the coordinated attack to deplete the populations of the south, to make us become very fearful, and to make us easy prey for the taking by Janjaweed terrorists from the Sahel. Even those who supported the coming of this Janjaweed government, this terror organization. Now it is clear to my Yoruba friends that what you have in Asorok is a terrorist organization masquerading as president, because there's no Buhari. Everyone knows that very well. There's no Buhari. What you have is a terror organization masquerading as presidency, now coming out to defend what is in effect indefensible. And it is very, very sad that we have the likes of Wike in River State. Pensioners are being owed money. Pensioners are being owed. There are no pensions, no money to pay pensioners. But he found 500 million to send to Sokoto. I told you about him and Tambuwal. He wants to run under PDP as vice president to Tambuwal. Wike. That was why he came and he emptied Obibo, sent people to jail in the north, and some of them were killed. And he's a so-called political leader. That is what we are facing. That is what we are being forced to endure. And that must come to an end. Some of you don't know what we're encountering on a daily basis. It costs us a lot of money to bring out our people once they are arrested or detained illegally. We are fighting and we are spending a whole, load of money, to be honest with you, to try and get them out. And the judges in the East are not helping. Igbo judges are not helping. None of them are helping because for instance, in Imo State, judges are not being paid. So when they arrest IPOB family members, a judge expects to get his pay from there, which is very, very sad indeed. And that is why our people are being detained and they're asking us to pay them money, which is very, very sad. These are people that have done nothing wrong. They've not broken any rules, not broken any laws, but they are being arrested at the moment, and our judges are not helping matters. And we don't want to be against them. We don't want to go against all these judges. No judge in the North is jailing proper terrorists like Mieti Allah. They are not in jail. Nobody's convicting them. But our own judges, I don't know what's wrong with our people. Our own judges will be there delaying and making life difficult for people who are actually fighting for their own freedom. And I must warn them that they are aiding the march of the Janjaweed terrorists into our territories. They are using us to make money. Our people must understand this. They are using us to make money. They are not paying the judges. Most of them have not been paid for about 6-7 months. So when you arrest an IPOB family member, that becomes a way for you and the police to make some money. And we are saying that that is blatantly wrong, and we can no longer accept nor support it. The reason why the march towards freedom has been delayed is because most of you think that the governors must be involved. The stupid Janjaweed groups like Ohanese must be involved. That's the mistake you're making. We outnumber them. The same way we outnumber Nigerian army by almost 100,000 to 1. If we want to make a change in our lives, we can make that very change. If we want, we can change it. If there is uprising in the East and the West and the Middle Belt, do you think that Nigerian army and police can have the numbers to quell it? Of course not. So that is why they will use the newspapers to tell you it's about ethnicity, it's about religion, to get into your mind. Once we come out, there's going to be a revolution. Once we come out again, everybody must hold their territory. Nigeria hasn't got the army to go around. Never. They don't have it. Their army is about 150,000 men. Peanuts compared to what they are going to confront. We must rise up and say that enough is enough. But there must be no criminality. Once you allow criminality to come in, then you have failed woefully. We have failed woefully. And let me also warn once again, there is no Biafran army. DSS can go and create whatever group they like, give them guns and all of that rubbish in order to justify an attack against ESN. But we are letting the whole world know that we have not floated any Biafran army. There is none. Anything you see is the handiwork of DSS. If anybody has the courage to float an army, then they should come out as I did with ESN to say so. I claim responsibility for the formation of ESN. Anybody that created or that claims that he or she created Biafran army must come out and also do so, because I know it's DSS. They can never ever do it. They can never ever do it. I don't know where they shot the clip. I have no idea where they shot it. I have no idea. But I can assure you that we are looking for them and we are going to find them, because they want to provide a legitimate cover or excuse for the Janjaweed army to invade the territories of Biafra. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And on that note, we have come to the end of our broadcast this very day. And I do not know if we have any more questions to take. If people have actually decided to send in more questions, if they have done so, I want very difficult questions, please. I want difficult questions, please. But as I say so, please be minded. Note that there is nothing called Biafran Army. All we have is Eastern Security Network. We don't operate on the streets of our major towns. We are in the bushes hunting terrorists. And they are feeling the heat, I can assure you. That's the only thing I want my Yoruba brethren to do. Do something that we are doing in the East, and we are all going to be free. And as we are doing it, our march towards freedom is going to come via a revolution. Spontaneous, across the board, Middle Belt, the entire South. Everybody is going to rise up to say enough is enough. If you don't do it, you will live in perpetual bondage. Uchenna, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, do we have any more questions?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Jessica, Jesse stated, "Good morning, sir. My question this morning is, since you said that you won't be the president or prime minister of Biafra when it comes,
Yes.
is there any plans to get a Biafra government, or are you going to be the interim president until we get an elected government?"
No, I will not be. The Biafran people will choose who will lead them. They will decide. It's not for me to impose anybody on them. Biafran people will decide who is going to lead them, because we are Democrats, we are Republicans, and we believe in what the entire public says, not a few individuals. Very, very important to understand that. Thank you very, very much. And on that very note, we have come to the end of this very broadcast this very day. In the coming weeks and days, there may be need or reason for us to come back on air to keep you updated. But for now, please bear this in mind. Anybody telling you about Biafran Army is working for the zoo, is working for DSS. Anybody telling you there is need for an army to march at this point in time, they are looking for an excuse to try to make our life difficult. They want the Janjaweed army in the bushes to remain, sorry, the terrorists in the bushes to remain, and we're not going to tolerate it. Thank you very much, all of you, for watching and for listening.